Okay, well, hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today. I'm very excited to introduce Darya Anisimova. She's International Outreach Officer at NYU Abu Dhabi. And today she's going to talk to you about exploring the universities in US, as well as introducing you to NYU Abu Dhabi. If you guys will have any questions, please type them in Q&A box or in the chat box. If you will have issues finding the Q&A box, those who watch us on Facebook, you can ask the questions in the comment section, and I will read them to the Darya after the session ends. Thank you. Thank you, Darya, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anissa. And hello, everyone. I'm so excited to meet with you. Again, my name is Darya, and today I'm going to walk you through different aspects of US universities when you review universities, when you think about applying to US universities. I'm going to introduce you to New York University in general and NYU Abu Dhabi in specific. So without further ado, and of course, you are more than welcome to ask your questions, and I will be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, let me start from where it all has started with our story of our university. Our first campus was opened in 1831 by Albert Gallatin in New York. The philosophy behind this university was to make a university without borders, accessible to everyone and anyone who wanted to have an access to a higher education. Now this is the biggest private universities in the United States, and students are applying from different countries. We have a very international student body, and our university and our campus in New York is a part of the city. So we have a lot of building campuses across the city. So we are building to the life of the city, and students can apply, can choose different colleges. So when you're applying to NYU New York campus, students need to choose from starting their application, what college they're choosing. But we are a global university. And when I say global university, I truly mean that. Our second campus was opened in 2010 in Abu Dhabi. The philosophy behind that campus and the ideal philosophy was to build cross-cultural international relations. And at this campus, 89% of our students in NYU Abu Dhabi are international students who are coming from more than 120 different nationalities, different countries. And you can imagine our student body is really unique, and our classes are relatively small, so we have 15 or 20 students maximum in the classroom, and you can imagine that most of the students, or every student, is going to be from another country, and you are going to discuss the same topics, the same issues, but from so many different angles, so many different opinions, just because you all have such different backgrounds, different culture, and this is kind of really, really unique. And our third campus was opened in 2013 in Shanghai. The 50% of students are Chinese students, and 50% of students are international students who are coming from about 60 different countries. Again, students who study at NYU Shanghai need to learn Mandarin language, and when you graduate with a dual degree, one from the American university and one from the Chinese university. This is the requirement by the Chinese government that in order to be eligible for work in China, you need to graduate with the Chinese degree. So that is what provided by NYU Shanghai. But what is really amazing is that no matter where you are, whether you are an NYU New York student, NYU Shanghai student, or NYU Abu Dhabi student, you are an NYU student, which means that all of our students have the access to the same resources. They can they have access to the library, the same virtual library, online library catalogs. When you graduate, you are becoming a graduate of NYU, not specifically NYU Shanghai or NYU Abu Dhabi. You are becoming a part of the alumni club, which is a universal and global to all of our campuses. But our geography and our footprint is really big and much bigger than 3 campuses. So on the screen, you can see that we have 3 degree granting campuses, New York, Abu Dhabi, and Shanghai. But alongside with that, we also have 12 academic centers that are located in 6 different continents, those in white that you can see. And for example, you can spend up to 2 semesters abroad from your home campus. As an example, let's imagine that Abu Dhabi is your home campus, so which means that for 4 years you study in Abu Dhabi and you get your bachelor's degree. But within these 4 years, you can spend up to 2 semesters abroad. Like, for example, you can take 1 semester in New York and 1 semester in London, for example, or 1 semester in Buenos Aires and 1 semester in Shanghai. It will depend on your major and on the modules that you would like to take. I have just given you a quick introductory to NYU and how to become an NYU student. We're going to talk a little bit later, but today the main topic, of course, is how to explore American universities, how to choose. And when you start thinking about applying to American universities, you really need to do your personal ranking. You really need to think and start thinking about what is important specifically for you. What is the best and sometimes is the best university best specifically for you. So I suggest you to start thinking and ranking the universities according to such a list as a location. Even if you take New York University, we have 3 degree granting campuses, and you can choose which campus you want to apply to. And look, we are different in location. Like there is a New York campus, which is a part of a big cosmopolitan university campus. We have Abu Dhabi campus, which is located in the Saadiyat Island. We have our campus is like city within a city. So students live on campus, study on campus, spend time on campus. And then we also have a campus in Shanghai. So you really need to start thinking about location. Maybe size of the university is important for you as well. Maybe academic options. I'm pretty sure that academic options are really important for you when you start choosing your university. So explore different options, different major subjects that the university is offering. Then start thinking maybe ranking is important for you, or international recognition and prestige. Is it important for you or no? Then start thinking about as well student demographics. As I told you, for example, at NYU Abu Dhabi, we have students coming from 120 different countries. This is quite a really unique experience. As well, campus atmosphere is also really important. What are the student interest groups? What are the student activities? Maybe this is as well really important. And then extracurriculum activities like sports activities, or what are events that are happening on campus. Those are the things that probably can be important for you. So I would recommend you to start looking and narrowing down the universities you are searching for through that lens. Decide what is important for you. Make your own ranking. And when we talk about American universities, when American universities review your applications. They have most of the universities, and NYU Abu Dhabi and NYU specifically has a holistic approach in reviewing your application. What holistic really means is that we review your application from different angles. We look at your academics that you can illustrate by your transcripts, rigor of classes, different test scores and honors. Then we also want to look at your personality. We want to see what kind of a community member you're going to be, what you're going to bring on campus. So, and that you can illustrate through essays and different recommendation letters. And as well, we are also interested in extracurricular activities. So what are your passions, what you do outside of your classroom? And extracurricular activities can be demonstrated through activities, of course, through different awards and recognitions, and through your recommendation letters. So when we think about applying, when you start thinking about applying to universities, those would be typical requirements of the universities. Mostly universities are going to require application form, standardized tests, academic achievements, letters of recommendation, essays, extracurricular activities, and some universities would even provide interviews. So let's go through all of those requirements just to see what to pay attention to, what to be prepared for. Application forms. Many universities, American universities, might use different application forms. NYU, alongside with many international and American universities, use Common Application. This is an online platform where you register, and more than 900 international universities are using Common Application. Some universities might use Universal College Application, some Coalition for College Access, and some universities will be accepting applications through their own websites and through their own platforms. As well, you need to know that universities might require application fees. They can vary from $50 to $100 per university. But as a tip for you, some universities might provide a fee waiver. So for example, NYU provide a common application fee waiver. If you're applying to our university, you just need to request it. So search for those options. Just review whether the universities you're applying to provide fee waivers. Then when we talk about the deadlines, it is also really important, especially if you apply to American universities, you really need to familiarize yourself with different deadline options. Deadlines for you American universities can be early decision, early action, restrictive early action. And usually the deadlines for those application rounds would be around mid-October, early November. Early decision, for example, is a binding agreement. What does it mean is that if you apply to the university through early decision and you got admitted, then the university would expect you to accept the offer and withdraw any other applications to any other universities. So within the early decision, you can apply to only one university that has early decision rounds. The same, then there are also early action and restrictive early action, and then there is a regular decision. With a regular decision, you don't have binding agreements. With regular decision, you can apply to multiple universities, and if you're admitted, to choose any university that you received an offer from. With a regular decision, the deadlines usually starts from January to March, but most of them are in January. And for New York University, the final application deadline would be regular decision with the deadline in January the 5th. Then multiple universities would require different testing. Again, you need to review the requirements for each university you're applying to. Some universities might require SAT, some might require American College Testing, which is SAT. Some universities can provide different preparation courses, and they would definitely require as well English language tests. Again, universities might accept different range of exams, either TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge exam, and even Duolingo. For NYU University, we do accept, we are test flexible, so we accept a different range of exams. If we talk about English, then we do accept TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge, and Duolingo. And if we talk about standardized tests, then again, we accept different range of exams like SAT, SAT, IB level, A level exams, and even some national exams of some countries are also accepted. You can check whether national exam of your country is accepted on our website. I will be happy to share the link with you. Again, some universities, starting because of the COVID, some universities became test optional, which means that you can apply without standardized tests, only on the basis of your transcripts and your school degrees. Again, when you apply to the universities, check this information, whether the university you're applying to is a test optional university. NYU is a test optional, so if you apply test optional, your application won't be disadvantaged. And students will be reviewed on the same level as students who provide standardized tests. As well, some universities might require predicted scores. So for example, if you apply with A levels and by the deadline you still don't have A levels, you still can apply with the predicted scores that will be provided your counselors, and on the basis of the predicted scores, you will be admitted. So, and then when you get your final results, you provide your final results, and then the university gets you an unconditional offer. Academic achievements are really important for the universities because you are applying for a higher education. So academic achievements, how the university can see your academic achievements? Usually they will require you to provide high school transcripts from last 3 or 4 years of your secondary school. As well, universities would be interested to see your academic performance, maybe to see a rigor of your curriculum, like what kind of subjects did you take? Was it able to take different classes, or maybe classes with the more difficult classes? And if yes, the university would be interested whether you have taken them or no. And then academic honors, maybe you have participated in different Olympiads. That is something that you need to illustrate to the university. Now, about extracurriculum activities. Every American university is interested on how students spend their time outside of the classroom and how you choose to spend your free time. Within the extracurriculum activities, it's not only about sports and music, it is also about different community works, or maybe arts, or maybe you participated in some activities, maybe you organized a student interest group within your school. So this is something that would be interesting for the university. Why it is important is that because universities, American universities, are really interested in and want to for the students to be well-rounded students, to be interested in many different activities. Like, for example, at NYU Abu Dhabi, we offer multiple sport activities. We have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have football fields, tennis courts, volleyball, kayaking, archery. So almost anything that you can think of would probably be offered on our campus. As well, we also have around different student interest groups, as we call them SIGs, that students can participate in, can join multiple student interest groups that organize different events, parties. They might even organize different trips, and they governed by students. And each university would provide most of the American universities would provide you different activities. That is why, while you explore the universities, that is one of the options to, one of the things that you would like to explore is just to see what kind of student activities, student body, student atmosphere is going to be on the campus you are interested in. And then in your application, what is also important is essays. Why essays are so important is because this is your chance to talk with the admission officers, to illustrate who you are, what interests you, what bothers you, what inspires you. Because for some universities, there is the only option for you to let's say, talk with the admission officers, because if they don't have interviews, the only option and the only way how they can learn about you is through your essays. In a common application, like NYU uses common application, in a common application, you will be offered 7 different topics that you can choose one of those topics and write your personal essay. It should be your personal essay. It is a compulsory essay, and then some universities might also offer college-specific essays. College-specific essays can be different, but most probably they're gonna be asking you, why are you choosing this or that university? And that is where you need to do your research. You need to, that is why you need to know the maybe student atmosphere, or maybe some extracurricular activities, or maybe some research that the university does, because that is where you're gonna explain why this university is interesting for you, and how you see yourself as part of this university and the community. And letters of the recommendation would be another important part of the application form. Again, the requirements can be different depending on the university. Some universities would require 1 recommendation letters. Some can require 2 or 3 recommendation letters. So counselors will be providing your school reports, like submit your transcripts for the last 3 or 4 years, and give evaluation to you. For NYU, we require only 1 recommendation letter, which is a compulsory recommendation letter. However, students can submit up to 3 different recommendation letters, but the other 2, so 1 is compulsory and the other 2 are optional. So it's up to you to decide. Who can be your recommender? It's again depends. And at NYU, any person of the authority can be your recommender. It can be someone from your school, like your teacher, subject teacher, your counselor, or it can be your music teacher, or it can be your sports coach, or for example, if you have volunteered or you had some work experience, then your employee can also be your recommender. So again, it's up to you to decide who you want to be your recommender. As I've mentioned, some universities would require or would have an option of an interview. Again, you can check with each university that you're applying to. Some universities will offer in-person interviews, some can run over the Skype. The interviews can also be may be a part of the evaluation, and some interviews may be non-evaluative. It again depends. At NYU Abu Dhabi, we don't offer interviews, but we have candidate weekends. So finalists are invited to candidate weekends. However, candidate weekend is still not doesn't mean that you had been admitted to the university. And talking about the financial aid, it also is different from each university. And in American universities, there are such types of financial aid is need-based scholarship, merit-based scholarships, athletic scholarships, and some institutional or external ones. Again, this is something for you to explore within each university. At NYU, we offer need-based scholarship. Most of our scholarship are need-based. And in order for you to be eligible for a need-based scholarship, you need to apply through the CSS profile. This is a separate application form that is submitted on a collegeboard.org. CSS profile you submit together with your parents, and you provide information about your family income, about how many parents are working, how much do they spend, are there any investments, for example, or are there any brothers and sisters that you have and that your parents spending money on. So this on the basis of that information, university will decide what financial package the student would need in order to become an NYU student. Again, as I said, you need to fill out a separate application form that has also its own deadlines. Deadlines for the need-based scholarships are also really important, and you need to fill out the form before the deadline, because if you don't submit your CSS profile, it would mean that you can pay for your studies. And giving a couple of final tips. When you explore American universities and when you think about applying to American universities, you need to start your preparation as early as possible, because as you just saw, there are so many things that you need to consider, so many different options that are offered by universities. So start your research early. Research for the universities you want to apply to in detail. Remember that at the beginning, I gave you the list of different options that you might think about. So think what is important for you before you apply to the university. Give your recommenders enough time to write your recommendation letter, to write your reference for you, and even to be prepared for that. Again, essays also require a lot of time. Your first essay is not going to be your last essay. That is why start thinking about the essays as early as possible. And of course, remember about the deadlines. I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides the deadlines that are for New York University. But before that, I wanted to say, because today we're talking about the specifics of US universities and the advantages of US universities. And specifically, I wanted to say that for us, as being an American university, it is also really important the future of our graduates. Who are our graduates? And I wanted to give you a little bit of information about that. But at NYU Abu Dhabi, what is really important for us is to make our students comfortable anywhere and effective everywhere. And we reach this out by international student body that we have, by all of the international opportunities that we offer to our students, that they can explore, that they can travel to different countries, and even through your internships. Summer internships. As an example of different global internships, it is just an example of one of our students who is from Norway, and she was doing her major from the political science. And as one of her summer internships, she spent in the United Nations in New York in the UK mission. So she was preparing different documents, working with different international organizations, and that is kind of an experience that our students have an opportunity for. And before jumping to final stages, I wanted to say that again about the options that our graduates have. When you graduate from NYU Abu Dhabi, our students can easily, if you want to go for a master's degree, our students can easily apply to such universities as Ivy League, like Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or Oxford and Cambridge universities in the UK. And it is just to name a few. And those of you who are interested in going for different job opportunities, again, this is an example. So within your 4 years of studies, you have an opportunity to explore the world, to take different summer internships. And after your graduation, we have a career development center that helps you and navigates you on searching your job opportunities. And remember, I told you when you apply to American universities, it's really important to think about the deadlines. Deadlines are really crucial. And for New York University, NYU, all of our 3 campuses, those are the deadlines that we have. We have early decision 1, with the deadline for common application with the deadline by November the 1st, early decision 2 with the deadline by January the 1st, and regular decision with the deadline by January the 5th. Remember, I told you that in order to be eligible for financial aid, we provide need-based scholarships, and in order to be eligible, you need to apply with a CSS profile, which also has its own deadlines. So the second column is a deadline for the CSS profile. And the last column would tell you when approximately you will get the information about your applications, about your application. So you can see that if you apply early, whether early decision 1 or early decision 2, you will receive an answer from the university early. So only within a month and a half, you will know whether you have been admitted or no. If you apply through regular decision, then you will hear from the university about the status of your application by the 1st of April. And I think that I will be finishing off here. I see that there are a lot of questions in the Q&A. If you just bear with me, I'll go through all of the questions that I have. Okay. How to take a Duolingo English test for free? So this is a good question. Again, some of the universities can offer having a Duolingo exam for free, and NYU Abu Dhabi provides a fee waiver for a Duolingo English test. So when you're applying to the university, especially to NYU Abu Dhabi, and when you fill out your common application, you need to fill out all of the sections of your common application. And when there is a section of English language testing, you can say that you would like to provide the Duolingo English test, and that you require fee waiver. You tick the box, and then when you submit your application, the university sees that you need a fee waiver. They will provide you with a specific code and specific number that you can use for the English when you go for to Duolingo to take your test. Does NYU Abu Dhabi offer a fee waiver for CSS profile? Yes, we do provide a CSS profile fee waiver. Does NYU Abu Dhabi have architect program? No, unfortunately, we don't have. Is TOEFL and IELTS are important for study? Yes. So for our university, and specifically, generally, if you're applying to US universities, it is really important to be very proficient in English, because you're going to be studying in fully English environment. You're going to speak with your peers who are coming from different countries, and you need to be used to different English dialects and pronunciations. You're going to write your essays, you're going to write your papers in English. So that is why it is really important to be really good in English. And if we talk about NYU requirement, NYU Abu Dhabi requirement for English, for IELTS, it's 7.5 or above. For TOEFL, it is 100 or above. And for Duolingo, it is 125, 130 or above. How do students balance their academic, social, and personal life in New York University in Abu Dhabi? We have this is a really great question. Of course, all of the students, first of all of the students will have academic mentors. Academic mentors will help you and guide you in terms of your curriculum. With them, you will be able to discuss your interests in academics, interests in what subject you would want to study. Then we have the support for students that it can be, you can get the support from students who are senior students, for example. You can discuss with them how to combine different majors, how to combine different minors. And again, we do offer a lot of options for activities. It's again, it will take you time to understand, to deal with the workflow and see maybe to decide which programs or which extracurriculum activities you would like to participate. But the life on campus is so vibrant, is so dynamic. But again, all of the support is provided to students alongside with the academic mentors. This is also a student support, you have an opportunity to come and talk about, maybe you have challenges in studying, or maybe you have challenges in getting involved in the academic life, or maybe you are homesick. So we do provide all of the support to students in all of those kind of questions. Can I get the transfer to this university from American University of Central Asia? Junior student? No, we don't accept, we don't have transfer students. For example, if you want to apply, if you're already studying in the university in your country, you can apply to NYU Abu Dhabi or to NYU Abu Dhabi, but you will have to start from the first year. Are there any services on campus to help students access internships or research opportunities? Yes. So we do have a career development center, which is called CDC. This career development center is connected to our Weizmann Career Center in New York. So NYU Abu Dhabi students have the same access to all of the internships, to all of the vacancies that students in New York, for example, and our colleagues in advisors in the Career Development Center helps you with searching all of the options, research opportunities and internships, as well as writing your CVs, as well as applying to different vacancies. They also organize a couple of times a year career job fairs, when they invite different companies to join, with whom you can have an interaction and talk and apply for the internships, for example. So yes, we do have such services. Will we still be considered for NYU Abu Dhabi, even if we indicate NYU in New York as a primary campus choice? When you choose your primary campus, like for example, you put New York campus as your top priority campus, this campus is going to be the first to review your application. And if you are not for some reason admitted to that campus, if you put NYU Abu Dhabi as your second choice campus, then your application goes to NYU Abu Dhabi, and then our admission officers will review your application. But the campus that you choose as your primary campus is going to be the first campus to review your application. And what is important is that you will be admitted to only one campus. It is not going to be such a situation that you apply, for example, you mentioned that you are interested in 3 campuses and that you will be admitted to all 3 campuses and then you can choose. No, you will be admitted to only one campus, and you can't transfer from campus to campus. This is also really important. Give me a second to review some other questions. There is a question, do you know any social for apply to the USA? I don't really get your question. Can you please paraphrase it so I would know how to reply your question? Is it true that you can get a full need-based scholarship in NYU Abu Dhabi only applying through early decision? No, students, it doesn't matter which round you're applying to, because CSS profile is for all of the rounds, whether it is an early decision or regular decision. So, it is true that you can apply, that you can get a full ride in NYU Abu Dhabi, but it will depend on the information that you provide in this CSS profile. Okay. Do you cover full financial need to admitted students? So we do have a full ride to students who has the most need, but in order to be eligible for financial support, as I said, you need to submit the CSS profile, and on the basis of that information, the financial department will decide what financial package you would need in order to accept our offer. What is the most important part in the student application for our university? That is a good question. Thank you. So at NYU, we have a holistic admissions. You will hear about that a lot, especially when we talk about American universities. What is holistic? Holistic means that universities review your application from different angles. There is no such a thing that one thing is important in your application. Everything in your application is important. Of course, academics, I would put them on top. So the academic excellence is really important for the university, because you need to illustrate that you are ready for the higher education, to be on a high level, high education level. But then your essays, your extracurriculum activities, your English language level, your recommendation letters, your how you spend your free time. This is also really important, because when we decide on students, we want to know, we want to learn from you who you are as a personality, what you're going to bring to our campus, and whether you're going to fit into our campus. So that is why everything in your application important. Okay. Can you tell us IELTS and SAT scores of average successful applicants? So for IELTS, for English requirements, as I've mentioned, IELTS, it starts 7.5 and above. TOEFL, it's 100 and above. And Duolingo, it's 125, 130 or above. So for English, we have quite high requirements. And if we talk about SAT, at our university, we don't have cutoff marks, which means that we don't have grades that we mentioned that this is your limit, or not limit, this is your minimum scores that you need to get. So we don't have cutoff marks because we have a holistic admission. We require everything, and everything is important for us to make a decision regarding your application. However, I would recommend you to see the medium score of SAT exams of those students who got admitted from last year. And then I could say that from last year, the medium score for SAT was 1,510. Okay. Yes, we do have mechanical engineering. We don't have aerospace major, but we do, like students who are interested in aerospace, we do have programs. And if you are interested specifically in that, here are my contact details. So each one of you who are interested specifically in any majors or any specific questions about NYU Abu Dhabi, you can take a print screen or take a photo of my contact details, and I would be happy to specifically answer your questions. Okay. Give me a second to review other questions. What is the best way to write Why NYU essay? So starting from this year, we don't require now to write a Why NYU essay. It is an optional now essay, and it has been paraphrased. So it is not now Why NYU essay. It is more about our story and our community, and how you can be, how you see yourself as a part of our community. Again, it is an optional essay, and it's we don't evaluate this essay. You can use this space if you want to add an extra information about yourself, but now for this year we require only one essay, which is from the Common App essay. Can I apply for master's or PhD at NYU universities? Of course, you just need to explore what are the options and what masters universities offer and what are the requirements, and then apply. If we speak about NYU Abu Dhabi, at NYU Abu Dhabi, we have only 2 master programs. We are mainly bachelor program. We offer mainly bachelor programs, and we do have PhD programs. So you can just review what exactly you are interested in. And if you have an extra questions, you can send me an email. On which majors NYU more concentrated? Again, it depends on what campus you are interested in. So for example, at NYU Abu Dhabi, we have 25 different majors across 4 different subjects, which are engineering, social science, arts and humanities, and math, technology, and science, like biology, chemistry. In engineering, we have a lot of majors like mechanical engineering, different kind of engineering, and of course arts and humanities like theater studies. So I suggest you to, and as I said, different campuses have different majors and different programs. So I would recommend you just to go on our website and explore. When I'm studying in America, can I apply for a green card? This is a really specific question, unfortunately, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to answer that question. I'm sorry. Is NYU Abu Dhabi test optional? Yes, this year we are also a test optional for this application round. How do successful candidates approach their Common App essay? It depends. Well, first of all, of course, you need to explore different topics. You need to decide what topic is important for you. Again, your essay should be really unique. Your essay should be personal. It should be about you, not about someone else. So if, for example, if anyone influenced you, it is still should be not about the person who influenced you, it should be about you. And of course, in your essay, you should talk about current issues. For example, of course, we might be interested in what happened with you in your childhood, but we want to know who you are right now. Because you're applying to the university now. And then again, when you think about your essay, it should be complex and not complicated. That is why I think about your application that it should be easy to read, easy to follow. When you're rereading your essay, think from the side of the admission officer. Would it be for someone who doesn't know you? Would they know something new about you? Would they know something interesting about you? So we do have and we do offer separate webinars for essay writing. So I would just suggest you to follow our news and see when we're going to have an essay webinar where I would be more telling you more in detail how to approach your essay. But what I can say is that start thinking in advance, start approaching your essay as soon as possible. And of course, this should be unique, and it should be about you, and it should be personal. There is a question from a student. I really want to study at the university with American education, but I don't have TOEFL or any other kind of certificate to prove my English proficiency. So will you accept me not by certificate, but through entrance exams? So I can say that most of the universities are going to require English proficiency tests or English language testing. But again, some universities are flexible in terms of what kind of exams they all accept. It can be TOEFL, it can be IELTS, it even can be Duolingo. Duolingo, it's an online exam. You don't need to go to any test centers. So you sit at home and take exam at home. So just explore the options, explore the different opportunities. Some universities can offer you a free Duolingo exam. So, but you will need to provide your English language test to the English level to the universities. I think that I have already replied to that question. Do we offer a fee waiver for the CSS profile? Yes, NYU Abu Dhabi offer a fee waiver for the CSS profile. Again, there is a question about the certificates, whether the American university accept you without TOEFL or SAT. Will NYU accept without? No, like we definitely require English language testing. And regarding the SAT, you can apply without SAT. So you can apply as a test optional student. But I would recommend you just to go and review the admission requirements on each university you want to apply. But for NYU, we definitely require the proof of English. And regarding the standardized test, it can be, you can apply as a test optional. I'm gonna share in a chat box useful link on the entry requirements. So for NYU, Abu Dhabi. And remember, I said that we do offer different webinars. If you're interested, you can also, sorry, it's different webinars. There is a link to the upcoming webinars that you can also join. Okay, getting back to questions. Can we apply, again, there is a question, can we apply to the universities without TOEFL or SAT? I would think that mostly all of the universities are going to require English tests, proof of the English, but regarding the SAT, some universities can be test optional. So just to review the requirements for each university. For about the NYU Abu Dhabi, I have already replied. Yes, in the universities which are test optional for SAT, they say that the person without SAT has no disadvantages with comparison to the person who has. But I wonder why still SAT exams in an application, why it is not, like, for example, because it is up to the student to decide on what basis the student want the admission officers to review you. Like, because some students know that, or they have already previously taken SAT and they have high marks for SAT, and that is how they can, maybe the transcripts wasn't that even, for example, or transcripts wasn't that good. So that is why the student want to make their application stronger. That is why they provide SAT. But for those students who are sure in their application, like, for example, you have a lot of honors, you participated in the Olympiads, you have a really high GPA, and your grades in your transcripts are really high, then you see and you decide that you don't need SAT to prove your academic excellence. So again, it is up to students to decide on what basis, on how you want the readers and academic or admission officers to review you. Okay. Do you have computer engineering or graphics? We do have computer science and we do have engineering. And in terms of the graphics, we have design as a minor. I'm from UWC Maastricht. What is the Davis Partner student body at NYU Abu Dhabi? If I got you correctly, you are generally interested about the student body at NYU Abu Dhabi, right? So at NYU Abu Dhabi, we have 89% of students are international students who are coming from more than 120 different countries. That is a really quite unique student atmosphere, student diversity that you're gonna get. And if we talk about the percentage, 15% of students are American students, 15% of students are from the United Arab Emirates, and the rest 70% are students, international students from, as I said, from more than 120 different countries. What sets your computer science program apart from other schools? So at NYU, we are a liberal arts institution. It really, what liberal arts means is that students can shape their education themselves. So students can feel free to choose different majors, combine them with different minors. So you can, for example, have a major in a computer science, but then minor in creative writing. And the liberal arts education provides you this to explore so many different topics from so many different angles, to shape your education, to have a global mindset. And computer science, we have the state-of-the-art research facilities. So, and our students can have an opportunity to do research alongside with our professors in both, it can be professors from NYU Abu Dhabi, or it can be professors from NYU New York, for example. As well, our students have an opportunity to go for a semester to our Brooklyn School of Engineering in New York and take extra curriculum or extra modules and pile up them and add them to your computer science program. So I would recommend, again, you can reach out to me and I can send you the detailed information about computer science programs. I can as well, if you are interested, can try to connect you with some students from computer science programs, and you can ask the questions to them. And I think that was the last question that we had in a Q&A box. So anyway, if you have any and you still have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer your questions through the email that you see on the screen. I would like to thank you for your attention. I would like to thank Education USA and Anissa for inviting me. It is always a great pleasure to participate in those kind of events, to talk to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Darya, a lot for spending 1 hour with us and answering to all the questions. Once more, guys, you can email Darya for your other questions, or if you, by any chance, would lose your email, you can reach out to us and we'll share the contact information with you. Thank you very much once more and have a great evening, everyone. Thank you, Darya, a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, everyone.